Welcome all. Welcome to Wales. Although I'm sitting in the beautiful state of Ohio, we are taking you to Wales today. And I always love to follow that big ball of fire that gets me all literally fired up. I'm Maria with Mysterious Adventure Tours, and this is our second of our live stream series called Revealing the Mysteries of. And we bring you to Wales tonight. And oh, I am just so ecstatic about the incredibleness of our show tonight. And it's going to be for a full hour, packed full with stories and mysteries and talking about Wales, a country that is not known to many, but soon many will envy the fact that maybe you've been there. So, welcome again. I'm Maria Schmidt with Mysterious Adventure Tours, and we're going to have a phenomenal time today. We will be going through a lot of the locations that we're investigating. In fact, we're going to give you previews of the four that we're doing, including the Scarred Mountain Inn, Margin Castle, the Carthage Castle, and yes, we're going to cross the territory zone into England and bring you to the most notorious location in England, the ancient Ram Inn. All that is your treat for today. And we will bring in folks that know these places. I know Ohio. I don't know Wales. So I depend, and I'm so grateful to have some of the best folks that know Wales and know its hauntings, know its history, and love the country. With that, I will invite them in. But before we we go any further, I do want to give you some suggestions and advice. This is going to be a very hopefully interactive and engaging presentation, but I want you to wait to the very end, because if you're thinking about even remotely of joining our tour, you'll want to wait to the end. We're going to give you a great promotion that will have a promo code that will be available to all of us at the end of the show. So without any more delay, let's bring in Brian Cano. Yes, my ambassador for Wales.
Hey, hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you, Maria? It's good to be on.
Oh, I'm so happy, and we're finally doing this. You know, we want to showcase and show off the beautiful Wales where we'll be going. When I first told Brian that I think I'd like to take you to Wales, he says, "Why Wales?" I said, "Because it's incredible. It's mysterious. It's adventurous, and nobody knows about it. And I know how you like to do new things and break them open. So that's what we
Absolutely.
did, Brian, right?"
Well, just the video that you posted earlier this week, the drone footage of the beautiful countryside and the landscapes. This is something out of an IMAX film, and I'm thinking, I'm going to be there. And friends of mine are like, "We're going to be there." So yes, we're going to be there.
Yeah.
So this is not CGI or Hollywood magic. This is just the majesty and the beauty of the Wales countryside.
Yeah, you know, it's remarkable because Wales, its entire country is surrounded by the seas and the ocean. And so it's got more incredible waterscapes and dunes and forests and mountains. It's just, it's packed full. It really is. So I want to bring in some experts. One of them is a paranormal teens, Paranormal Wales UK, and this is John Segbeer. I love his name because we love beer, don't we? So here's John. How are you?
Hello. Hi, guys. You okay?
Yeah,
Hey, hey.
yeah,
Hey, Brian.
What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, I'm all good.
yeah. So he's been
Nervous.
investigating whales for a while. Is that right?
Yeah, 12 years.
12 years, and
All the
he
cars.
loves whales. He keeps
I
bragging
love it.
about whales, you know, and
Wales,
can't wait to
Wales,
meet
Wales. I love it.
you. Yes, yes. And his wife Emma normally accompanies him. He will be on the tour with us. So again, we're going to be getting a lot of raw information from the natives. And speaking of other natives, I'd like to bring in Dark Wales Tours, and here they come. Welcome, Luke and
Hello
Nathu. How
there.
are you?
Hello, guys. I'm very good,
Very well,
thanks.
thank you.
How are
Hey,
you doing?
guys.
Okay.
Cool, cool,
Hiya,
cool.
Brian.
Hi
Good to
there.
see you guys.
So,
Yeah, nice to be on.
yes, thank you. Dark Wales Tours are it's the only organization in Wales that actually offers haunted tours. And their specialty is in two locations. Why don't you tell us about those locations?
Yeah, so we run history and ghost tours primarily around Cardiff Castle, which is where one of the stops you will be visiting with us, and also St Fagans Natural History Museum just outside Cardiff as well. So we're really excited to be able to be part of this tour and take you around some historic Cardiff.
Yes. And we will be focusing on the four properties, and one of them is Cardiff Castle today. So I'm sure you're going to be able to contribute a lot of good information so that we can get really, we can whet our appetites about visiting. Is that right? Huh?
Absolutely, yeah.
Definitely, yes. There's quite a lot to find in Wales, so I hope you're all looking forward to it.
Mhm. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and start our presentation. And the first one that we're going to bring you to is Scarrett Mountain Inn. Now, the Scarrett Mountain Inn, and John will detest, it will validate, is the oldest pub. Inns in Wales are pubs, right? You know,
Yep,
they're not
definitely is.
hotels. It is the oldest, and from what
Yeah.
year?
1,000 years old.
It's 1,000 years old. So,
Very old.
yeah,
Very old.
not hesitating anymore. I'm going to bring you over to Scarrett Mountain Inn. Let's watch.
Devil rode abroad in these early days of ignorance and superstition, and as the night winds howled in the black night outside the walls of the innkeeper solemnly poured out a pot of devil's brew, a pot of ale for his satanic master. This is the devil's cup. What we do every night, to appease the devil, we fill this with ale, leave it on the doorstep, and each night there's some missing. We hope it's to appease the devil and to make sure that he doesn't bother us and to keep the spirits here happy. But we've other theories. Some of the local vagrants seem to have got wind of it. We hope it's for the devil, but cheers if it's for the people of Abergavenny. Well, the story of the Scarrett is it's alleged to go back to 1110, and it was certainly a courtroom until 1640 upstairs. There's no surprise, within these walls that are 3 feet thick, there must be some amazing experience absorbed. The purveying atmosphere of the Scarrett, we claim to be the oldest inn, and I'd like us to claim to be the most comfortable and happiest inn in Wales as well. My wife Sharon and I first realised the Scarrett Inn was available in 2005. It's a wonderful pub, and we enjoy very much being a custodian of such a beautiful place. The innkeeper might also have left a jug of puka on the Scarrett doorstep when the last of the customers disappeared into the night. This was to appease the devil or mischievous spirits of the darkness. Shakespeare is thought to have got his idea of Puck, of Midsummer Night's Dream, from the drink of the devil, a puka.
Myself and Emma has returned back to the Scarrett Inn. This building dates back to the 1100s. It's over 1,000 years old, and this building has seen over 180 hangings on this staircase.
Shivers.
John, I know you are the
Yeah.
expert of Scarrett Mountain Inn, and
I've slept there 25 times now alone. So,
Mhm, mhm.
yes.
If
Wow.
you could choose one word to describe it, what would it be?
It's like stepping into another world. It's like going back in time. It's like when you walk into the place, all the slate floors, like walking into a castle. And it's just, you've got to experience it. And the haunts. And to meet Jeff, the owner, he's a lovely guy. You could meet him.
Yes.
It's going to
Yes.
be, it's one of my favorite locations.
Mhm.
I won't say too much about the haunts because I want the people to experience it. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
want people to go there and witness it for themselves, and not by me telling them.
Well, there's
But
something that I
it's
noticed when the last time I was over in the UK, stopping by little pubs here and there, the sheer amount of history that is held within the timbers and the walls. I would make it a point to put my hand and just touch it and think about all the people who had come through there over the past millennia. It's just, I'm really eager to do that again. I'm really looking forward to getting back to these places. The people is half of the fun, but just the sheer history that's just waiting for us to unlock it is the other half. I can't wait.
It's going to be amazing. It'll be one in a lifetime.
Yeah.
so, and just a little brief history. You mentioned about the hangings, and
Mhm.
that served as a courtroom at one time.
Yeah,
Is that correct? And
yeah.
the
Courtroom upstairs. Yeah,
executions.
yeah.
And when you were found guilty, is sometimes for stealing a loaf
Yeah.
of bread.
It was some people got hung for stealing a sheep, or
Yeah,
something like that. It's crazy.
let's
And
make sure not to
when
steal.
you're in the, yeah, steal a sheep.
We're not doing
Eh,
that.
There's plenty of sheep in Wales. So in the bedrooms, it's now a
The odd one.
bedroom you can sleep. You can ask the cell, and they used to stick them there in the morning, and they all be drinking downstairs, laughing and giggling, and they got hung in the morning. It's crazy, and just to be locked in that cell is an amazing feeling. If anybody wants to get locked in that cell, it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah,
I'll go.
yeah,
I'm in.
amazing.
So when Dark Whales, and I'll just refer you to guys as Dark Whales, just to make it easier.
Yeah,
Your
Yeah,
experience with the Spirit Mountain Inn, is that a place you've been to? Have you had a pint there?
Oh yes, not for a few years now, but as John was saying, absolutely incredible place. Intense would be the word I would describe it best
Mhm.
as. Energy when you go in there, and you can just sense that there's the history, because you pick up on that energy of what's gone on there over the years. And like I say, not to spoil too much of the stories, there's something some people pick up on a lot when they go there as well. Like I won't give too much away, as I'm sure John knows, but there's a
Mm,
certain thing, a feeling people have in particular, which ties into obviously the history as well.
it's amazing.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Brian, we will be hugging a lot of good timbers, the ones that shook with the trembling bodies of those being hung.
I gotta
Because
say, in addition to ourselves and our lovely hosts, I know some of the people who have already signed on are in the chat right now, and they're used to me locking them in prison cells and prisons and other things across the United States. So to do this internationally is going to be quite the honor and quite the pleasure.
Yeah. And the hanging beam today, you can feel the grooves of your hand where the bodies were swinging. You can feel where the rope is.
Oh, wow.
yes,
Crazy.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, the great
I
thing
mean,
about this, Bob, this is going to be towards the end of the tour, and we're going to have our celebration dinner there, courtesy of Jeff. Jeff will be serving us a wonderful Welsh dinner. So not only we're going to have the full investigation there, but we're also going to be um, taking in a little bit of their Welsh hospitality with good food from Jeff. I understand he does good fish and chips, correct, Joe?
yeah, good fish and chips. I love the fish. I'm down for fish and chips. So,
Let's
I
do
don't know what you guys are having.
We can do it. I think that's what he's going to give us. He's whether vegetarian or not. You're going to have
Good
fish and
choice.
chips.
Yeah.
Fish and chips. Yeah.
So, how about we now take a tour over to the next spot, and that's Carthage Castle. You ready, guys? Let's do this. Okay.
in Wales and its capital, Cardiff. Its biggest landmark, Cardiff Castle. This castle is steeped in history going back to the Roman times, Victorian times, and most recently, the Second World War. But it's also got some strange ghostly legends about it as well, and many sightings have taken place inside.
Wales has over 400 castles, and this one is right in the middle of its capital, becoming a national landmark. There has been a fortress on this site since around 55 AD, a Roman fort, but the original motte and bailey were built in the 11th century, and as the years rolled past, new gates and towers were later added. During the 18th century, during the Stuart dynasty, the castle expanded into the stunning Georgian mansion. Due to the rise of the coal industry in Victorian times in Cardiff, the wealth increased, and as you can see in the detail in some of these rooms. Cardiff Castle was always built to protect due to its vantage point on the coast, but none more so than during World War II. Existing tunnels were renovated inside the castle's outer walls, allowing for up to 1,800 people to shelter during an air raid. It is these tunnels that a strange man is often seen by staff, while the castle is closed to the public. He is said to follow people, but does not get too close, as if to keep an eye on you to see what you're doing. Is this the ghost of a former defender of the castle? Could this be the same spirit as a soldier who's been seen around the battlements in Cardiff? It is said that the ghost of the second Marquis of Bute, John Crichton Stewart, haunts the castle. He is a very important figure in Cardiff's history, investing heavily in the Cardiff docks, making Cardiff a big industrial player. Following a large meal in the banqueting hall, he collapsed and died in a small drawing room behind what is now the library. This room has since been converted into a chapel, but a statue of him marks the exact location where he died. His ghost has been seen in the area, walking from the library through the fireplace to what is now the chapel. One guest experienced this. It was Keith Carton, visiting with friends from Birmingham in 1977. He claims to have seen the Marquis standing at the top of the stairs with a scowl on his face. The man looked identical to the Marquis in the paintings on the wall. About a year before this encounter, a young couple had experienced an incredibly rude man wearing a cloak, pushing them out of the way as they left the chapel. In 1975, Derek Edwards was a custodian at the castle and was clearing up after a dinner party when a strange man was seen stood staring at him. With the building now closed to the public, Derek walked up to the man to ask who he was, only for him to vanish into thin air. Derek's children also claimed to have seen the same strange man staring at them in one of the accommodation bedrooms earlier in the day. The ghost has also freaked out Desperate Housewives star Eva Longoria, who took to her Snapchat in Cardiff to say that she was uncomfortable in this part of the building.
So he just told us that sometimes the guy from the castle comes back as a ghost and sits in this dining room. I'm still freaking out that it's haunted. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said one of the Johns comes back for dinner every night.
Okay, let's bring everybody back on. Let's see, how do I do this? All right, there we go. That's much better. That place looks incredibly amazing. Now, some of the stories here
Fantastic,
are
isn't it?
old.
Actually, we
Yeah.
yeah, so we're quite privileged to be able to take guests in here quite regularly on our tours, and believe you me, we've had more than our fair share of strange things happening. Because the amount of people that have encountered the spirits there is just so consistent. Sightings, the experiences, it is quite unbelievable.
Yes, yes. Is your tour very popular at the Carthage Castle?
Yes, Cardiff Castle is a very, very popular tour. We sell house weeks, so we run the tours all through the year, Friday, Saturday, Sundays things, and we are very popular and we often sell the tour out. And if you were interested in looking into a bit more about the tour, you check out our TripAdvisor page and you'll see our reviews from the Cardiff Castle tour and also the experiences people have had over the years as well.
And you have fantastic reviews, by the way. So very complimentary to what we're going to be doing. So we're excited. Yeah. Brian, what do you think about Carthage?
I think it's one of those places, and almost every stop on our itinerary, you could fill an entire weekend with. You could fill an entire trip just focusing on that place. And I know we're going to be left wanting more, but coming away with amazing memories.
Yes. And John, I know you live close to Carthage, correct?
20 minutes away.
Okay.
Not too far.
Have you visited Carthage? Is it beautiful inside?
I feel embarrassed. I've only been there when I was a child. I've never been back.
It's a good thing we're going then.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm Paranormal Wales UK, and I've never. Well, since I've been round there, I've been there, but I've never been inside.
Yeah.
It's only when company comes. Only when company comes.
That's how it was. When I lived in New York as a child, I never went to the Empire State Building. And back then it was the tallest building there was. And I had to come back as a tourist to go up to the Empire State Building. So I'm glad we're coming over then, John, for your sake.
I'm so glad. I've always wanted to go. It's only 20 minutes.
But you do live.
Yes, and the beauty of it is as well, we will be.
I live across away from another big castle right by my house.
We will take you.
Sorry.
What is it, Matthew?
No, I think.
Okay, so John.
Yeah, the beauty is we will be taking you into some of the rooms and areas.
We will. To the places that normally we don't get to see, correct, during a regular tour.
Yeah, I think it's a slight time delay on that.
Yes, and hopefully we'll be able to take out a digital recorder or two and kind of do a check, just a quick little check. So we are not doing a paranormal investigation, but Dark Wales is taking us on that ghost tour, which is at night. But during the daytime, prior to the ghost tour, we're going to see the place during the daytime because it is night and day. Is that correct, gentlemen?
That's right, yeah. So our tour will be at the night time. We'll go into some of the areas, as I say, which are off limits during the day. So it's unique sort of access to some of the areas, especially at night, where really nobody else would go at night time. So that's what we're really looking forward to showing you.
Yes. And John, you live across the street from a very important place. What is it?
The famous Margam Castle.
Thank you for letting us know. And now we introduce you to...
I've never been there either. No, I have.
Oh, you have to. All right.
I'm joking. Hi.
Why don't we go there now?
The history of Margam Castle in Wales spans 4 millennia and is full of death, despair, and family curses. Reports of hauntings go back centuries, bolstering claims of dark ancient spirits on the property. The land has been sacred for over 4,000 years, since the Silors, an ancient and violent tribe, buried their dead in the surrounding hills. After the rise and fall of the Roman Empire in the region, it was an early Christian settlement up through 1147 when Margam Abbey was founded, home to hundreds of Cistercian monks. To this day, visitors report cloaked figures on the grounds, appearing as semi-transparent monks. With the end of English monasteries in the 16th century, the Mansell family purchased the land, and in 1840, Christopher Rice Mansell Talbot built Margam Castle using abbey remains and lead from the abbey roof for his elaborate home. Local legend says dismantling the abbey cursed the family, bringing tragedy and ruin to the Talbot line. In the coming years, Margam Castle passed down through generations until the family wealth was squandered and it was put up for auction in 1941. During World War II, Margam Castle was used as lodging for Allied troops, and they experienced the lingering spirits as Alan Wilson recounts in his book.
We were allocated a large room atop the castles are built. On the first night, cold chills spread across the room and an eerie glow appeared from under the door. When the orange glow entered the room, one man shouted, "It's a ghost!" Once sure it was safe to emerge, we immediately packed up our kit and moved up to the orangery.
The stories of hauntings here continue to this day, as visitors claim to see apparitions on the staircase, shadow figures on the upper floor, and feel a negative presence throughout the property. For all the eyewitness accounts of paranormal activity, there has been almost no documented evidence of the hauntings.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're
Amazing
gonna have to
location.
have a week between each investigation, I think. So this is gonna have to be like a month, 6-week vacation. How about that? Let's do that.
Which one's your favorite location? There's so many. So wow.
Tell us about Margam, John.
Margam Castle. Well, I grew up close to the castle. I always spent when I was a child there. My nan used to take me there to play in the gardens and around there. And Robert Scott, the gamekeeper that worked at the castle for many years, he's buried next door. That's not many people know about this, but I know where his grave is. And you can get some great EVPs there. And also where he got murdered is in the woods. That's just behind the castle. I can take you to the location and share with you the stories. And I'll share more when I'm that people don't really know about. So I've dug deep into it.
Yeah. So it's worth a visit.
Yep, 100%.
And it's worth the investigation.
Oh, most definitely.
4 hours. And we have the Abbey as well as the castle.
And yeah, they say the grounds is even more haunted than the castle itself and the staircase. So the grounds is just more incredible. And it's awesome.
Essentially, that means everyone bring comfortable shoes.
Yes.
Bring comfortable shoes. We're going to be doing some walking.
There are no high heels here. No time for that, except for the party at night, and we plan to do that. Dark Wells, your impression of Margam?
Oh, we actually don't live that far away either. We've actually done a couple of ghost tours in Margam, and we've seen and heard a lot of very strange things at Margam. It's a very atmospheric castle, and like you say, John, even the grounds themselves are just very atmospheric, and the ruins and everything. It's an incredible.
Like Castle may have
those places I always feel on edge in. It's very.
Yeah.
John, you were saying?
Oh, yeah, there's like little chapels scattered. The I don't know if you know about this, but behind the castle, a little walk, 10 minutes, is the monks' baths where they used to bathe. So I can take you to that little location as well, where not many people know about, hidden away in the forest. So.
Can we take a bath there too?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
running hot. It's running hot water,
Just to have a
and
full experience. So
maybe
Brian is going to bring his Speedos. Now we know this.
speedos for Brian. Huh?
Oh my.
Phenomenal.
So you're
And
thinking ancient cultures, a possible family curse, banana hammocks. Why not? Wales 2022.
yes, 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 yes. So, yes, so we're doing three investigations and one ghost tour. We've already covered the Scared Mountain Inn, right? We've done the ghost tour at Carthage Castle. And then the second investigation, full investigation, we basically have a full day at the Markham Castle. And then the third is the most wicked, the most darkest, and the most unnerving property of all. For that, we leave Wales and go to England for about 15 miles, not far from the Welsh borderline. And I'll tell you, I bring you the, let's go. I bring you the ancient Ram Inn.
The history of the ancient ram is that it was built on a pagan worshipping site. It was built, I believe, to house the stonemasons that built the church. And the church obviously was put on the pagan worshipping site. They did that many years ago to encourage the pagans to worship Christianity and go to church. It's the oldest building in Wootton Under Edge, and it's an historic monument. It's a Grade 2 star listed building, and it needs to be visited by people. They need to come and explore the atmosphere because its history is amazing.
Ancient Ram Inn, infamous for its stories of horrific paranormal activity and believed to be one of the most haunted homes in the world. There are numerous rooms within this home known for demonstrating its pure evil abilities upon those that dare stay in them.
So before we start our investigation, let's do what we always do and make sure and confirm and go over our X's. The front room. This is where John Humphreys has been attacked several times by the incubus and succubus. The grave pit. This is where daggers were found from human sacrifices. The barn. This is where they found countless children's graves. The witch's room. This is where a photo was taken of the witch by a guy named Alan. The bishop's room. This is where satanic and witchcraft artifacts were found in the fireplace, where 10 possessions and exorcisms took place. So the stairs. This is where the famous photo of the apparition was taking place that may be the incubus. With that said, let's go dark and get ready for probably one of the most challenging lockdowns we have ever done. Godspeed.
Wow.
Yeah. See, I'm with Aaron.
Yeah.
It's a lot. That's a
Well,
lot.
I've been there twice, and this place sends shivers through my body. It's very, very dark and fun.
And unfortunately, I've heard about the stories.
I'm sorry.
Are you still on mute, Maria? Because I
Oh,
don't. There you are.
there we go. Okay, thank you. My dog was barking, so I didn't want him to come through.
There we go.
Oh, that's good.
So,
Yes. Enough of the barking dogs.
enough of the barking dogs. So, I'm telling you what, this property, of course, John has died since then. That was the original owner of the property when Ghost Adventures was there, and his daughter is taking care of that now, and she's the one being interviewed on the film. And the place is just incredible, amazing. Privilege yourself by doing any research on the ancient Randman. Um, I just had to include it on the itinerary. There was no way that we're going to be so close to it, being in the southeastern part of Wales, and not cross over that border, and go tackle it. So, um, any other impressions from the fellas or Dark Wales? Have you been there?
Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, never actually been there myself, which is quite sad. But as I say, very aware of the stories, and as I say, John probably know a little bit more about this site than us, I guess.
There will be a 4-hour investigation there. If you don't feel comfortable going to the ancient Ramman, you don't need to. You can stay in Carthage. I don't understand why you would want to, but Brian, will you take care of us when we're there?
Oh, absolutely. If we're going to step over the border, we're going to make sure that it's a worthy jaunt.
Yeah. So that being all said, I'm going to go ahead and reminisce on a little film that Brian Cano made for us, and it puts it all together. How wonderful this trip is. So let's go ahead and do that.
Hey guys, it's me, Brian J. Cano. Has 2020 gotten you down? Are you just tired of everything that's been going on, and you need something to look forward to? Well, I might have just the thing. July 23rd to the 31st, 2021. Join me in my partnership with Mysterious Adventures Tours on my Mystical Legends of Wales tour. That's right, I'll be going to Wales, to some of the most amazing, unforgettable places in the UK. History, taverns, castles, and oh, did I mention castles? That and so much more. It's going to be an unforgettable experience, and I want you there with me. Don't miss out, because space is limited. You can put a deposit down now and reserve your spot. Again, July 23rd to the 31st, 2021. Me, you, Wales. I'll see you there.
Obviously, those dates have been
2021.
corrected. And actually, you got the old video, Maria. I've been pimping out the new one for the past year. However, that being said, it's the old hair. And I see a lot of people in the chat are already coming. So for the people who are still thinking, oh, I'm not sure, is there room? How many spots do we have left?
We've
They're
only got
limited, right?
we've only got 5 spots left. So if you really are interested, and I mentioned this in the beginning, that if you're interested in joining up with us, we're going to give you a chance at having a promoted rate just for watching this. It sounds like an infomercial, doesn't it? But it's the truth. We're going to go ahead and give you the opportunity to sign up for Brian's castles, I should say. How many castles do we have in our itinerary, Brian? Did you
I didn't count because after I ran out of fingers, it seems like there's more to go. But we have several, and some of them are operating castles. Some of them are in good condition. Some of them I remember there being just the ruins of. So it's going to be something that we can look at, take photos of, and just be on historical ground where so many things occurred and happened.
I think I did the last count I did was 13 castles in 6 days. So that's pretty magnificent. Not saying that we're actually not going to be staying in a castle as much as I love for us to stay in castles, but we're going to be staying some incredible properties, including the Exchange Coal Hotel, which is just its history is magnificent, and it's look it up, guys. The place is beautiful. And then across the border, we're going into another magnificent steakhouse. So these are not little inns that we stay in. We do treat you right because you want you to experience Wales as its finest. And every place we stay is guaranteed to be spirited and haunted.
Oh,
So we can
absolutely.
continue on with that mission.
It's important to for us to have those good places to stay and recharge because each day we're going to be soaking up so much of just the left behind energy, our excitement, the history, the spirits, the hauntings that when we get back, everyone's going to need, and I'm sure no one's going to have a problem sleeping because we're going to be well exhausted from having a good day. But yeah, every day is going to be a completely new adventure that's pretty much worthy of its own banner.
Yeah, yeah. So 5 spots, that's all we've got left. After that, we're closed up because we wanted to keep it to an intimate amount. I think we're up to 24. No, we will top it off at 24 people. And it seems to be the right mix for not being too alone and yet have a good group and vagabonds with us. On the banner, we have join our clan. So if you join on, I'm going to put this on the comments as well. If you join up, we will send you more information on Wales, where to go, and ooh, what is that? Is that a
Just a message, sending the message out, sending the message out.
good? Okay. It replicates one of these, huh? So yes, exactly. So sign up or just go to that link, the bit.ly join Wales link. I'll put it on the comments as well. So if you want any information. So the promo code, if you want to get a $100 off on this trip, is castles. Would that be a good promo code? Yeah, seems to be a pretty natural way to go.
I
Um,
think so,
people
yes.
are, yeah, people are concerned about the pandemic. And we've got two folks here that are in Wales right now. Do you want to give us a little bit of prognoses of how the temperament of this pesky little virus is going to be in July?
Well, it's obviously it's ever changing, but we've been told in about 2 weeks the Welsh First Minister for the Welsh government have said we're hopefully going to be able to see the end of the majority of our restrictions. So continue to go by July, we should be completely fine.
Hoping
Good,
so, yeah,
good.
definitely.
I think I heard from some of the hotelers there that in the beginning of February, they're going to go ahead and review everything and pretty much eliminate a lot of the regulations if the Omicron settles down, which is what the expectation is. The travel industry has predicted very solidly that the beginning of spring will be when full travel will be opened up across the UK. So we're really happy about that because we want to be safe. And if indeed a little problem does happen again, we'll take care of you. That's a good thing about a small tour that we take care of our people. And if we have to lift and shift to 23, dear God, please don't let that happen. We will make sure that you're accommodated. So, um, I do want to also say that after this, if there's any questions, I'll put them up on the chat here, on the banner. I'm sorry. I do want to say that we are going to go to a very special place in Wales, which John is very, very acquainted with. Talk to me about Scare.
The Maid Scare, Scare in Kemfig. I don't know if you people heard of it. It's not far from the town Porthcawl. So the Scare, the Maid Scare house. The house and the belongings, they belong in the medieval period. The history of Scare House dates back almost 1,000 years too. The Maid of the Scare has been seen, according to locals, in the upstairs room of Scare House, the room that she'd been imprisoned by her stepfather. So around the legend is Scare, and there's a little place called the Prince Pub, that's right by Scare, across the road. That's allegedly haunted too, the Prince of Wales pub. And it's got a devil's armchair in it, and they say for nobody to sit in there. But I don't want to explain too much about the ghosts and the activity, because I want people to experience it for themselves. So, but she's been seen, the Maid of Scare. There's a statue of her. She's been seen around the. So
There's a famous movie, and actually in the beginning of our video, when I show the introductory video, that song it's a Welsh song, and it's from the Maiden of Scare. So again, I want to invite you all to come to Wales with us. You see who you're going to get right here. We're going to be in the bus, taking you around and exploring Wales and divulging its legends and its secrets and its mysteries, because again, many don't do. And so we want to give you a gift that's very precious. So we hope to see you there. Are there any clickable link? We'll go ahead and put those on the Karen, I believe, put the link to join Wales. And we'll go ahead and follow up with you after our lecture. Are there any questions about the trip at all from our participants? I know we have a good round of audience with us, and I'll be glad to include them in our screen. Doesn't seem like there's too many. Everybody's just breathtaking. That's what it is. They've lost their breath.
Yeah. All these locations.
Many that I see in the chat are already coming, so you're preaching to the choir. We need to get those people who are like, yeah, I want to. I know a lot of people want to come. They want to come. We just have to say, all right, come on, come on. You're coming with us. Let's take them by the hand, lead them. Let's go on a merry trip to Wales. We're going to go on a pilgrimage. We're going to go on a quest. We're going to go on a crusade to Wales, where there's a lot of Arthurian legend steeped in the land. And I know I'm going to be checking that out myself.
Yes, yes. With all that being said, gentlemen, I want to thank all of you. It's so nice to be the only female in a group chat here, for joining us today and introducing the trip to us, all the way from Brian. I know you're very busy, and thank you so much for joining us. And what an honor to have you in our tour. And it's going to be incredible. Dark Wales, so glad that we met up and that we'll be sharing some of your country with you. And John, my best to Emma. John, my best to Emma. I know she wasn't able to be here. Your better half.
I think she's watching. So.
Good. Yes. So with that, before you leave, I'm going to go ahead and everybody's going to come off the screen, but I'm going to leave you with that film from Scare, The Maiden of Scare. It's only 7 minutes long. It's so worthwhile watching. And until then, fellas, thank you so much for being here, and God bless.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oops. There we go. This is the wrong one. Sorry about that. My finger went trigger happy there. Okay, here we go.
Well, you join me on Scare Point as I walk across the dunes towards the old village of Kenfig. On a sunny summer's afternoon, this rugged windswept area has a natural beauty, but on a cold autumn night, as you walk alone, when the sights and sounds of the 21st century fade into the background, it's easy to imagine yourself back in those dark medieval days when life was influenced by superstitions and folklore. And over there, that Scare House, the most infamous haunted house in the area. Let me tell you more about that. It's said that Scare House is haunted by two ghosts, one being Elizabeth Williams, whose father locked her in a room to stop her running away with her lover, and she died of a broken heart. Her spectre has been seen in the window and roaming the grounds. And the second, and more sinister ghost is of a sea captain whose ship ran aground on the unforgiving black rocks of Scare Point. His ship probably lured onto the rocks by local wreckers. Wrecking was a sinister practice which took place during heavy storms. The wreckers would deliberately lure ships to their doom with lights pretending to be other ships safely at anchor. There's a story of a merchant ship from Portugal being wrecked on the point in 1753. The group behind the wreck was said to be led by Isaac Williams, the former owner of Scare House and the father of the tragic Maid of Scare. The wreckers descended on the ship like vultures. They plundered its cargo and stole from the still warm bodies of the dead sailors. So as the sun goes down, we're going to continue a walk across the dunes towards Old Kenfig. And as we do so, listen to the sounds of the Cahiraith. These are spine-chilling, banshee-like wails that are said to be heard before a shipwreck or some other impending doom. It's also said that if you ever catch sight of these evil creatures with their corpse-like appearance and sharp teeth, then death would follow you or someone very close to you. And another premonition of death is the appearance of eerie hovering lights. Lights known as the corpse candles. Sometimes a skull is seen, or even the features of the person who would shortly die. The lights have also been seen tracing the exact route of the victim's funeral procession. My last stop of the day before I do actually walk across the dunes is Scare Point as the sun goes down. The site of many shipping disasters and deaths. Personally, I don't believe in ghosts. I think it's a load of rubbish. But saying that, now I have to walk across the dunes in the dark. So, wish me luck.